And good morning. And can you believe it's already May 30th?
I can't believe it.
The whole month is already gone.
Feels like summer here.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes, in the 90s, right? Well, and so the air conditioners are working full force here in Paducah now.
It's a good time to stay in and sew.
Well, and so if it's the end of the month, that means we must have a new magazine.
We do, because at the beginning of June is normally when you start to see your July issue of American Quilter. And let's get this camera. It doesn't, it's not going to the right place. There it is. Okay. Isn't this an awesome cover?
It is. It's
this
beautiful.
is a quilt by Jane Sassaman, and there's an article about Jane Sassaman in the magazine this time. It's by Sue Fenwick. We are really excited to have this cover. It's just gorgeous. It's also the beginning of a new series quilt by Robyn Koehler, and it's actually what is hanging behind us on the wall.
Ooh.
So we'll talk about that in just a second. But I just also want to say you'll find 5 quilt patterns and lots and lots and lots of quilts to look at, because we have the Spring Paducah winners in here and the Lancaster winners also. So it's going to be fun.
Well, and do you know what I did with the digital issue? It just came in the link just came in our email yesterday. Mm-hmm. And because there are so many quilts in there, if you do it in the digital form, you can just flip through and have your own quilt show.
Absolutely, you can. And you know how you can stretch on an iPad, you can, or on a phone either.
Yes.
Phones are a little bit hard to look at the quilts with, but you can stretch that out so you can see detail, because our pictures are so finely done that you can see every stitch. It's really a great way to look at it.
Well, and actually, and it was fun, because if you just click over here on the right-hand side, it will just continue to turn the pages for you. Mm-hmm. And what fun to kind of relive both the Paducah and the Lancaster shows.
Right.
That was some amazing quilts.
All right, so tell us about this quilt behind us.
This quilt is called Robyn's Wreaths, and it is an applique quilt that we are presenting in 5 parts, so it will last for into next March. And the first issue that the first part is going to be the background blocks. So as you can see, even if you don't applique, this is a pretty cool background for if you have some large prints in like a light and a dark, or something creative you want to do, you could just use the background of this for a really neat looking simple quilt. But then you can take them 1 block at a time and do the applique on top if you like. And we're going to be providing 2 applique patterns per month after this one, or per issue, excuse me. And the directions for the stems are also included in the July issue. So if you will take a listen to what Bonnie's about to tell us, you might be able to do some really quick applique stems.
Well, do you know, sometimes at the quilt shows we see something that's kind of fun to watch. And Pauline Rogers from the Pauline's Quilter's World is the name of her booth. She does a little demo at the show. And when she does it, she is using these. She calls it the Sasher collection, and she uses them to make sashing for Quilt As You Go. And so you can make them all the way from 1/8 of an inch all the way to 2.5 inches.
Wonderful.
But I looked at this and thought, oh man, a pretty cool way to make stems. This quilt has 1/2 inch stems and 1/4 inch stems. Mm-hmm. And so what you do to make it using this tool is you press just a little bit at the beginning so you get it started, and pin that to your ironing board. And then you'll notice that there is a rounded edge on each of these pieces, and that's so that your iron will fit right along the edge, and now you can
isn't that clever?
Push and be able to make your whole piece of bias.
It's wonderful.
And I've used bias on this because these stems are curvy, but you could use it if you were doing straight grain as well. All right, now we have 1/4 of an inch stems on there. And so these are 1/2 inch. And if I take this and I fold it in half, now we have this beautiful 1/4 of an inch stem to add to our quilt.
Right, that's nice. You know, when Robyn made this quilt, she hand stitched all of this applique. And she also hand quilted it. So if we get a close-up of that too, it's just some amazing hand quilting and hand applique. So you could use this kind of applique either way though, right?
You certainly could. And of course, you know, we all know the Clover bias tape makers. You know, you could make it that way.
Sure.
And in her article, she said to follow the manufacturer's instructions.
She does. So whatever bias maker or applique stem maker you want to use, you just follow the instructions and you'll be able to do this. The instructions for the series quilt are actually made for fusible applique because more people tend to do that. But I believe that needle turn appliqueurs all know easily how to add their 1/4 inch and turn it under when they hand stitch.
Well, so hopefully you've learned a new way to make bias stems or bias of any kind or just straight tape. So it could be on the straight of the grain as well. Well, Betsy, I know you've been busy as the dickens with On Point. And so tell us about this break tracker. We all need a break.
You know, to be creative, especially as creative as we have to be all the time, it's really important to keep fueling that creativity with little breaks and sometimes some big breaks. And so we've come up with a break tracker that goes with our creative organizer where we're working all year to keep you creative and organized, which, you know, us creative people sometimes need some help with.
Yes.
And so at aqsblog.com, you can pick up the different giveaways we've had all year long so far. But this is for this month, for June. And it's a little break tracker. And you can see there's 3 little rings there. On the outside, one represents 5-minute breaks. And so a circle is for a day, and you color it in each time you get your little 5-minute break. So if you get to lunchtime and your circle doesn't have any colors in it, you need to remember your breaks.
Can you take more than one at that point to make up for it?
Well, then you jump to the insight ring, which is more like for a 15-minute break. And that might be where you need to, you know, look at something different, you know, get up, walk around a little. Yes. Catch a snack, find some chocolate. Any of those would be great. And then that bullseye right in the center, that's nap time. or go outside and watch the clouds go by, or anything that, call a friend.
Look to a distance is a good idea too, so that your eyes can get some refreshment.
And it's really important in our creative world. We do a lot of repetitive movement. We sit in one position for long hours, and you're right, our eyes tend to focus in the exact same distance. So we need to change all those things up to get ourselves moving. And if you ever are stuck on an idea and you just can't figure it out, you need to just get away from it for a minute.
So how often should you sit there like at your sewing machine before you plan to take a break?
I like to say every hour you need to give yourself some interruption.
That's what I would do too.
Interruption where you can look away for a while. I know a lot of ladies.
And also, you need to
stretch yourself
stretch your shoulders out a little bit,
and flex your hands.
Yeah, and so sometimes breaks, you're like, well, those are a lot of breaks. But if you think of like putting on some tunes and going and pressing for a little bit after you've been sewing for an hour, and you're getting your move going while you're pressing a little or something, so that you get your wiggles in.
Is that what you do? Okay.
That's what you do. Okay. And so the link is in the description for you if you're interested in the break tracker and you'd like to download a copy of that. It'd also be really fun to print out on sticker pages, and that way you could put the little break tracker wherever you're working and color it in. It'd be kind of fun. But hopefully you'll stay refreshed and creative with that one.
Yes.
And so we also have over on the blog today some amazing quilts. And this month for Quilt 2018, we did pictorial quilts for our style. And we have a new style that'll be announced next Wednesday on Point. But this was a beautiful pictorial quilt done by Britt Eddy, and I'm going to butcher it, but Queen Ragnhild's Dream. I'm not quite as Norwegian as I should be, I suppose. But this is what her depiction is. It's so beautiful. She did an absolutely lovely job. And then we also had lots of really cool projects. People post what they're working on, different things they've gotten done. And the big project for Countdown Paducah was going on. And we have a quilt that is absolutely finished. Patty Denemy. And if I said that wrong, I'm really sorry, Patty. I probably did. But she's got it all finished and even bound.
It's all quilted and everything?
Quilted and bound.
Oh my goodness.
Patty, you're remarkable. How amazing. And it's beautiful.
And isn't that pattern fun in the blue and white?
She did so beautiful. And it's really, really fun. And speaking of the Countdown to Paducah, I keep getting asked, but we will be starting the journey to Paducah for Fall Paducah on August 8th. That will kick off. Because around here, we're getting all excited about Fall Paducah, aren't we, Bonnie?
Right. We certainly are.
Yes.
Yes, we certainly are. In fact, we have 2 quilt shows that are open for registration right now. Grand Rapids is open for everybody. And just yesterday, we added some hotel rooms at the JW Marriott.
Oh, nice.
For that show. And we have a link on our website. If you go to QuiltWeek.com and click on Grand Rapids, under the lodging tab, you'll find the link. And they recommend you do it with the link because it goes right there and you know immediately that your reservations are all made.
Oh, that's good.
Yes.
At the right place, especially.
At the right place, yes, at the right place.
And you've got a hard copy to remember it by, too, when they send you the email reminder or
The confirmation.
verification.
Yes, right. Well, and of course, you know, we're talking about Fall Paducah. Registration is currently open for AQS members. And so this is the last week. We're going to open it to the public next Tuesday.
Now, I have a question, Bonnie. If I wanted to join AQS, like today, so that I could get in on a class I really wanted to, I have to do something fancy, don't I?
Not really. If you just
What do I have to do?
If you just call our website, no, you don't want to do that. If you just call our office, and that's 270-898-7903, and ask for the Quilt Show Department, our staff there will be happy to get you all registered as a member, and then they'll give you the link that you can go on and register for the Quilt Show.
So they'll completely take care of me, won't they?
Well, and you know...
And you get discounts that way, too, on
You do. You get your 20%
tickets.
member discount on admission, on the tickets that you buy for the Quilt Show. But one of the things that you always have to remember is the AQS members always get 2 weeks advance notice. And I can tell you that many of the classes get filled up during that time.
Yes.
So
They do.
if you're planning to come to Fall Paducah, you want to make sure that you go get your membership, and then you'll get the link so that you too can go register.
Yes.
I know. And, you know, we've got well over 600 quilts that we're going to have on display at the Fall Paducah show. Marilyn Badger is going to have a wonderful exhibit. Luke Haynes, who we've never shown either of those quilt makers' work, will have 40 of his log cabin quilts here.
Oh, wow.
That's nice.
So we have some great, we have the Cherrywood Dutch Gallery. These are different from the French gallery that we had at our spring shows. So you've got quilts online. You can go to the magazine online and have your own little quilt show. And we'll hope you'll come to AQS Quilt Week at Grand Rapids, Fall Paducah, and we're right now working on Virginia Beach, our brand new fall show. So it doesn't end with us, does it?
Bonnie, you're busy. You're just so busy.
Well, and you know what? We're already busy working on teachers and exhibits for 2019. So we always try to have something new and different for our members and our audience who just loves quilts.
That's right. We do love quilts.
Well, we'll see you next week right here in the studio at AQS. And we hope that you'll have a great final day of the month of May and join us again next time.